All right. Welcome, everybody. It is the 37th episode of the Get Geeked Podcast. Let's just say due to holidays and busyness and stuff like that, we missed last week. But hey, we're back. We are back. And Alex is cleaning his lens.
I think that's what most of the blow was coming from.
Yeah, you kind of did fix it a little bit. Nice. Before we get started, I've been having fun with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I've been seeing a lot of videos. I don't know if it's trendy or what, but I feel like there's so many people just like, they just want to hate on the game. And, I mean, I understand that it has bugs. It has its bugs, and the devs are gonna fix it. And I mean, and there is some stuff on there that is kind of like, you know, it should be a different way. But it's the game. Play the game. And to all the people that says that it's a bit campy, I feel like it's changing. I felt like it was a bit campy in the beginning because people were learning the maps and stuff like that. But now that everyone kind of knows the maps and everything like that, it's starting to get run and gun. Like, me and Dada, when we play... Oh, hold on. Jeez. Ooh, still going, huh? But yeah, me and Dada, when we play, we both run and gun, and like, we go at it, and we get kills. I don't know. Oh man, why is it not? There we go. Perfect. My headphones, sometimes when it sits for a long time, it blows fuzz, and I hear it, so I have to just wipe it down, replug it back in. But yeah, it's run and gun. Like, that's how I get most of all my kills, is run and gun. And it's all in your weapon selection and how you use it. You can still camp if you want to, but I feel like the game is good. I mean, it needs new content for sure.
Isn't that how most good games are supposed to be? Like, it shouldn't just be one way. It should be everybody gets their own little everything.
Yep, you play it. You figure out a way to play it your own way. And it does need new content, but which it is gonna come out with new content. Like, today is Sunday, on the 3rd, which will be Tuesday. They're dropping the new season pass, which is gonna be dope, and it's gonna be available for everybody at the same time, which is cool. And that's how it should be. But it's not how it's been for the last few games. But like, yeah. Everyone's gonna get the new content. It's gonna be. I mean, I'm excited because it's bringing back 3 OG maps, which I'm kind of curious to see how it plays, because 2 of them are, well, one of them. Well, I think it is 2 of them. 2 of them are pretty small maps, and I'm talking about Shipment.
So, I was just gonna say, I am actually looking forward to any new maps that are from the old school games, because the one thing that I kind of wish they had more of was the I call them like river maps, where they have a stream to them, where the upstream is, the downstream, and there's usually just 2 to 3 paths, and it keeps things moving.
Yeah.
In some of those maps, like, you can really be stuck in like an office, not knowing where to go for a cool minute, just to realize that the whole map flipped already. And you gotta start running the other way. So I like those because it keeps it moving, doesn't make things stagnate. And just to touch on it a little, I think it's going to make them deal with one of the issues that are going on for me is javelin chuckers who will just sit there at the end of the map and just chuck javelins at where they think people are going to be.
Like, I haven't had to deal with them a lot, because I think that those guys usually play like S&D, search and destroy, and stuff like that. And
that's because all you got to do is shoot it at the map, and where that that flag is going to be, where that search and destroy is going to be, you're going to get some kills.
Yeah. But I've seen them creeping into TDM and kill confirm, which is, I mean, it's a little annoying because you're like, where the hell did that missile come from?
I'm not going to lie. It's not the first time that the javelins have been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
There have been other games where the same thing is, pinpoint locking, and all of a sudden you just have a rocket of like a hail of javelin rockets coming at you. If you get 2 to 3, not to mention a whole party to meme up on this, if you get like 5 javelins on one side, you guys are pretty much screwed.
It's kind of annoying.
That's where the running and gunning comes in. So don't knock the running gunners too much.
And then I've also seen the new tubes kind of come in return also as well. So I was like, oh my god! I was like, new tubes were a thing of the past. Not anymore. It's making a comeback.
But it was, hey! Don't forget that it was part of your arsenal for a long time now.
Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about like these cross map new tubes where the match just starts and you already have like 2 or 3 grenades coming your way.
Unless you have a dude with scavenger and a guy with a supply case, you're going to get a lot of that. But I kind of feel like it's just one of those ceremonial, at the beginning of the maps, you just chuck it out where you think they're going to be. And if you get it, you get it. If not, it's just kind of like, duck your head for the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But if you do have like scavenger or resupply and you're just chucking those things, I think you should recheck the version of like what game you're playing, because I'm pretty sure that's something you should go back to Halo with and just leave that somewhere else, because you guys are the ones that are destroying the whole game, the game sense of what's going on. It's just kind of like throwing a whole wrench into like the workings of a decent game, Like, why would you just sit there and javelins, noob tubes? I'm not gonna say knifing because I know you're gonna get all mad about it, but there are special things that are fun and there are special things that are ruining for everybody else. So just think about that next time.
I get the hate on knives because it is a one-hit kill, but like, if they miss though, you gotta learn how to stick and move, man. Stick and move.
But I will say, if I'm glad that there's no extra incentive to do that, like you don't get 2 kills per knife. Now that would piss me off.
Yeah,
because you're incentivizing something like that. Yeah,
because you gotta pick it. You lose it and then you gotta pick it back up. So it's kind of hard to get double kills unless you're running. Unless you run 3 knives like as I am, then you get 3 chances. But it's pretty hard to hit 3 people one after the other because they're constantly moving, and especially the people who
also.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that. Also, I'm not really one to talk because I've been out of the game for a while because I don't even have a desk yet to play my computer on. So most of the info is going to have to come from him.
Don't you have you don't have a kitchen island?
I do, but I'm also like a home chef, so that's my workspace. I can't be cluttering it up. I already have a processor. I got a stand mixer. I got all this crap, so I got no room for a PC in here.
You gotta get crafty, bro.
I will touch up on this. As of a few days ago, we finally moved in. House is full of boxes. We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna have a streaming area in the room sometime. I want to build my, battle station for all the games. But as a couple of days ago, I've been touching up and figuring out the whole VR setup. I finally have like my 2 cameras on tripods ready to go, and I was practicing streaming it to the computer, and it works. So I'm thinking later today I'm going to stream some VR on my Twitch, maybe some Beat Saber, because I haven't been able to play PC like Call of Duty because it's on the floor. I'll just play VR,
Your computer is strong enough to run VR?
Hell yeah, dude.
Your computer was having
Hell yeah.
troubles just like a month ago, though.
No, that was the laptop I'm on right now. It's just a normal Mac. That one has its issues when it's like having a couple windows up at the same time. It starts to slow down on a couple others. But it's still strong, but it's not as strong as my tower.
Mm-hmm.
I threw like at least $2,000 at the tower to make it.
If we're talking, if we're talking electronics, I also want to bring up that I just got myself a Nighthawk router, which is freaking amazing for gaming. Like,
you got one.
Yeah, and the thing is, because I have to run Wi-Fi because my room is too far away from where the router is. But this Wi-Fi is ridiculously good.
I told you the Nighthawks would be really good.
I'm running 5 gigahertz into my Xbox, which is like amazing. I get no packet loss. The only thing is our modem is crap, so I'm gonna have to save up and try to get a new modem.
Which is what I was talking to you about. Like, you got to make sure that your modem is putting out enough power to pick up like a router like that.
No, it puts out enough power. The dumb thing is that it goes off once in a while and then turns back on by itself. And I don't know why it does that, but it's annoying because I'll be in the middle of a game and then I'll get kicked out and then lose connectivity, and then all of a sudden, like, it just connects back.
Honestly, just talk to the service provider you guys have. They will tell you, like, it should only be like maybe $30 for an upgrade. You just gotta give them the old.
The thing is this is an upgrade. That's why I'm kind of like not really pissed off about it, but annoyed about it. What I'm planning
it. A few years ago.
Huh?
Right. It was a few years ago that was put in, though, right?
Yeah, but we just upgraded to a new modem. That's why it's supposed to be a new modem. But it's having these issues, which is like lame. It's dumb. It's annoying. So my plan is I'm gonna get my own modem, and then just tell them to, activate it through with the plan that we have. So like that way I'll be running my own modem, and it shouldn't have those problems.
Who do you guys have?
Wait, what happened? Hold on.
What is going on?
My headphones again, man. I don't know. I'll try to run through it. I don't care. I'll let it fuzz.
I was saying, what guys? What company do you guys have?
We're running Spectrum, which is pretty good. I mean, Spectrum has a pretty high speed internet. Their internet is pretty high speed. It's not fiber at all, and I know that 5G has came into LA, but not to our area yet. So there's no way of getting 5G yet. But I don't know. I probably won't be able to see 5G while I'm here. Like, it'll probably get here when I leave.
But yeah, honestly, I will probably. My computer definitely is strong enough to run VR and strong enough to stream it. My issue is trying to incorporate my Twitch chat into my VR experience, because as of right now, I'm not really sure how that happens, and it's going to be really hard to like have a chat going and then like pick up my goggles every once in a while just to see what they're saying. I know there's a way you can like put it onto your VR attachment, your the VR whatever it's called, where you like turn it and it'll come up kind of like a watch.
Yeah.
But I got to figure all that out. But it's working fine. I was playing a couple games. I have the Viveport Infinity as of right now, so I can pretty much download whatever games. But I've been stuck on Beat Saber right now, and it is so much fun. I forgot how much I love rhythm games like that. And oh man, the updates.
Kind of sad to see Rock Band and Guitar Hero kind of disappear like that. Because those were
Yeah,
fun.
but they were fun, but they did kind of stay longer than they should have, and I think that's what kind of run them down because I picked up Guitar Hero Live, the last one that they came out with, and I bought the whole thing, the like $150 two guitars with the Guitar Hero Live multiplayer, and man, it sucked.
Hmm.
The the buttons and the stringing was completely different. There was like an up and a down version, and it was not the game I fell in love with as a kid. So kind of destroyed it all for me.
Dang. Well, that's kind
Had
of
they
whack.
just stuck with the had they just stuck with the old school, stayed cartoony, went fun, I think it still would have been like one of those like Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row. Like it was there as a kid, and now it's just like along for the ride as an adult. But they kind of like ran it to the ground, thinking that they were going to turn it into some kind of like live your dream and perform with a band. They took it too serious, and I think it was the competition of Guitar Hero and then like Rock Band that really threw them out there. But they really took a dive after. Honestly, if you go on YouTube and watch any Guitar Hero live gameplay, you're not going to know what is going on. Usually when you want, like, I still watch people play on Twitch Guitar Hero, and I'm just like, oh, it's nostalgic. You know how it is. You'd even like sit there and kind of like go along with the song if you want to. If you watch Guitar Hero live, anybody play it, you're not going to know what the hell to do because it doesn't even look like the same game. And honestly, a big ups to those who actually Twitch stream Guitar Hero. You guys have dedication beyond anybody's belief. I don't know how you guys have done it for this long. But Acai, like I forget his name, but it has something to do with monkey. I think it was like GNC Monkey or something, but you guys rock. I don't know how you guys have done it for so long, but you guys are monetizing Guitar Hero, and that's pretty awesome.
Wild.
Have you seen any of those guys?
Nah. Well, I don't really follow
Really?
it. So, like,
It's
cause like,
insane the kind of shit that they can do nowadays.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never followed it, so I don't even know anything about it. So
All I remember is the one day I bought Guitar Hero 2 and brought it over to my A's house, and you told me to play 6 from that one band, and I failed miserably.
Yeah,
It was
I
like
mean
the hardest thing
there was some hard songs on there, dude. There's some songs that I've never mastered at all. Like, yeah, it got pretty hard, but that was the fun of it though, was just to see how well you could do on like the most difficult song they had on there,
And I'll tell you, there's probably video recording of this somewhere. I don't have it, and I don't know where to find it. Probably is. I remember as a kid, it was me, Nick, and Amanda when Mary came over. We went to Santa Monica Pier, and there was a radio station doing a Guitar Hero competition. Well, not like competition, but it was like up there and people could play.
Mm-hmm.
And this one guy was playing, and he was really good, and the other guy was kind of like, struggling to keep along on the co-op one. And then I walked up, and like there was a camera there. There was people like on the radio speaking, so I know there's probably video of this somewhere. But me and him like he didn't know that I could play expert along with him. And then I did co-op expert, and then we both went to Dragon Force.
Oh shit!
And we rocked it out of the park. Like me and him were directly in the middle. We knocked it out and acted like we were just, skipping along doing nothing. And I'm pretty sure there has to be video of it somewhere. I can't find it. I might try to find it. I forgot everything about it, but I know that was one of the most epic Guitar Hero moments I've ever had in my life.
Nice.
That was the coolest thing.
And also the thing for me was, even though I like Guitar Hero, I was more of a Rock Band fan because I like the drums on that. Like I like the
drums were cool.
I like the drums so much that the drum set we had got basically tore the heck up because we used to beat the hell out of it.
I'm pretty sure somebody still has it somewhere. I think
No,
it's like
it's in my room in a duffel bag because we haven't brought it out to play with it like for the longest. It probably has spiders and cobwebs all over it.
probably. Honestly, all I know is you guys have my favorite guitar, which was it was from a Rock Band game, but it looked like an actual Gibson.
Oh yeah,
The best.
Nah, it's not in the bag. I don't think. I don't know.
Damn.
I haven't opened the bag in a long time. To tell the truth, it might be in there.
Yeah. But honestly, that was a really good game to get people to just, even if they weren't good at games, you just got everybody together.
And the cool thing about Rock Band is that if you played at the higher levels on the drums, and then you take that memory and play it on regular real drums, it actually transfers. Like it, you could actually play the actual real beat on a regular drum.
Was one of the only instruments where you could actually take the rhythm you learned and just bring it into real life situation.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's where Guitar Hero kind of got jealous, and then that's why they kind of went kind of more of the realistic direction, which I feel like was too hard, and that's why it fell off.
When you brought in the fretboard that was really close, and then you got like all these like knobs, and it just got weird, guys. Like, and then there was even the one where it had like the touch sensitive bar where you could like slide up and do. It was just too much. But yeah, that drum thing is actually how I kind of started learning Kryptonite from Three Doors Down on the drums. It was just like it had to show you like the rhythm you had to take. And it actually worked, man.
Yep.
But I will admit, though, there's some games that I kind of still want to try out. Like, I know there's that guitar game where you actually have a guitar and have to plug it in to your, like, computer or Xbox, and it actually has, like, the chords you play. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, but it's stupid expensive. I think it's, like, $300 because you have to buy a guitar. You could use your own guitar, I think, but it has to be like something that works. There
was one where it came with a guitar and it actually taught you how to play. I forgot. I forgot what it was called, but
that's the $300 one I was talking about because you got to buy like
but I remember it going cheaper because after a while because like no one bought it. So you can probably find it right now for like cheaper than $300.
Honestly,
and it teaches you how to play guitar.
If I could find it for like $100, I could just put it in my stack of instruments over there. I would actually play that. It seems really cool.
You probably can find it for under $100, dude. I'm telling you, dude. Because I remember when Toys R Us was around, and I was walking around Toys R Us, and I saw it, and it was fairly cheap, dude. At that time, it was like 100 and something. What are you doing?
Trying to grab my phone so I could actually look this up, but it was behind me.
Why didn't you just turn around and get it?
Because my head was hooked in with the headphone.
But yeah, so that's cool. Let's go into topics, I guess. I guess one of the first things I want to talk about is, have you been keeping up with Mandalorian?
Oh yeah.
So the last time we talked, we went over episode 1 and episode 2, but now we have episode 3 and episode 4.
Real quick, it's called Rocksmith.
Oh yeah. There you go. That's the game, Rocksmith. I gotta say, dude, episode 3 was a wowzer for me, man. That episode was amazing. And then episode 4, it was okay. Although the one thing that was cool, it introduced us to the character of my dub CW, Miss Gina Carano, the hottiest of hotties that could beat you up. Like, I mean, I'll like that's what kind of made up episode 4 for me, because tell you the truth, episode 4 kind of bored me, because it was just it was kind of like a setup episode where it was just introducing the Gina Carano character and showing a more like caring side of the Mandalorian and stuff like that. Whereas we're in episode 3, it showed us the Mandalorian way, and it also gave us mad action sequence and just some of the secret weapons that he has, and it showed him taking on the guild and all the Mandalorians coming together to fight. Like, it was so like, if I forgot which one I gave a 10 to. I think I gave a 10 to episode 2. Episode 3 goes past a 10. Like, and then episode 4, I would say, for me, I kind of gave it a 7 out of 10, because I don't know, like, it just, even though I know it needs that slower pace just to tell the story, I don't know, I was just so used to like all this stuff that we've seen from 1 to 3, and then all of a sudden it slowed way down on 4, and I was just like, I don't know. But it was still good though, don't get me wrong. You need those episodes. It's just like, but if we're scoring episode for episode, it's for me, that was the lowest of the ratings for me on episode 4. Thoughts?
Honestly, a couple things going through my mind on 3 and 4. Still pretty good, but it still had a little more to unpack than the first few. First things first, I forget what his name is, but the episode 4, when those 2 farmers met the Mandalorian, you know, should we put another spoiler warning here just in case?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, it's all spoilers, dude. I don't like talking about this show without spoilers. Like, okay. You have to see the episode if you're gonna come watch this.
I'm glad to see one of the coolest actors that I've seen in niche roles. Niche, I don't know how you really say it, but the Asian guy on that little floating carrier that meets the Mandalorian out there. I've only seen him in a few things, but I'm really glad to see that he's picked, like, getting some bigger and better roles out there, because I think he's a pretty good actor. I think people think a little, they kind of like see him as a side character, but he could play some main roles, give him a shot.
Yeah.
But there's some things that I have to unpack with, it sucks because I just had this on my brain and I was like, I got to remember these so I can say it and make it seem like I had a flowing thought. But now that I lost it, I'm going to try to come at it again. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start with episode 4. Man, I think we're overlooking the fact that dude took off his helmet a little too much.
No, everyone noticed that. Everyone commented on that, dude. Well, from what I've seen and what I've watched.
I think, because, I think 3 with, the band of everybody together, the Mandalorians fighting together, and then the next episode just to have him so willingly, take off his helmet, enjoy the relaxing life. I think there's going to be a disconnect where they're just that was a blatant rule of, keeping the way.
But here's the thing, though. He was by himself. He was alone.
That is true. And in the window.
Yeah.
So even if they're never going to meet anybody, it's just kind of like you're never supposed to show what you look.
Yeah, but
just because nobody looked up doesn't mean hey man.
I don't feel like he crossed the line because no one saw his face.
True. Not just that. I think it was him pondering that very fine line of maybe I should just give it all up and stay here.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna bring up. I think that showed him thinking maybe I should stay here and live the easy life and give up the whole Mandalorian way and bounty hunting, and it showed him kind of choosing, and with him not staying there showed like, yeah, he's, you know, it's not for him.
And I even think it came back around even when she tried to take his helmet off, and he was just like,
No.
I get it, I get it, but it's not gonna happen. It's
like,
just
you may be a hottie, but I ain't taking this helmet off for you either.
I'll take it off for food, but you.
Well,
but
okay, so, how are you supposed to eat, bro? Suck food down with a straw.
They eat only in solitude, or they're just kind of like
trap door. Maybe
just
I don't know.
Bring it in. But so another thing is, I also noticed that I'm guessing the jetpack in the Mandalorian was luxury more so than a ship. I'm guessing because it's a little more like flashy accessory.
Well, I think it's whoever has one, really, or if you're gonna go that way and build one, because I think like each individual Mandalorian has their own like specialty, and they choose the weapons and gear that they have. Mm-hmm. Because even when they swarmed the enemy on episode 3, some of them had jetpacks and some of them were on foot. So you basically like pick and choose, which one which one you want to go with.
Because I mean, if all of those bars of metal that he brings in for the Mandalorians and the Foundlings and his armor, if he could have just made a jetpack out of that, I would, might as well. But it might be something else. Because I just thought that was strange, because it kind of opened up that thought that I haven't really thought about. That, a lot of Mandalorians are the same, but you've only seen a select few who actually have the jetpack.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I thought it was like every Mandalorian.
I think you pick and choose the accessories you get. Because I'm pretty sure he could build one. Because he said, like, I need to get me one of those. So, he could probably, if he collects more, or if he collects more bars or whatever the material those bars are made of, he could probably have someone build him one, or just steal it off of somebody. Who knows,
Yeah, it was something that you don't really think about until it's really put in front of you.
Because it's kind of the same thing with armor. Because if you look at all of them, they all had different styles of armor, different colors as well.
Plus, okay, I kind of thought about this. So Yoda was 900 when he died, which I don't know if it's that average or if that's older or younger. So if baby green thing is 50 and the Mandalorian lives a normal, I'm going to say human life just to, not put them in a box. But so like what, 70, 80 if you're lucky, maybe 100 if you really got all that like scientific Jedi crap going on.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, and he's already maybe 40-ish, maybe 30, possibly super late 20s. They haven't really said much. But if you put that into perspective, 70, 80, so even if he keeps them for his entire life and like hides in seclusion with the little baby thing, he's still only going to be maybe a toddler, not toddler, but like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
By the time he dies.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
So there's still like a lot of issues going on with where this is going to go, because I seriously thought that last episode was just going to be the ending of like he's just going to stay there forever. But I guess there's just going to be a never-ending search for this thing.
Yeah, because everyone's still going after him. I mean the Empire, or whatever's left over of the Empire, it's still they still want the baby Yoda. And the other part too of what you're getting at is like, yes, by the time the Mandalorian dies, Baby Yoda will still be a baby or a toddler or whatever you want to say. But the other part too is maybe their intelligence grows quicker. Who knows? Because the thing is, we know nothing about their species. There's very little lore and information and backstory on the race of whatever Yoda is.
That is true, but what I can gather from seeing experiences is that I think at the age rate that they grow, I think mentally their brain is just still stuck there. Because I've seen in games and movies and books that what age they are kind of reflects on them. Yoda was so wise because he really was 900 years old. But the baby was, say 50, and he's still like a toddler. So it's kind of like arranging on what happens. It could be like once he hits like age 70, he just becomes an adult. Like we don't really know.
Yeah. Well, here's the other part too is that and I'm going off of just straight movies. Because if you go book and lore, it gets a little confusing and diatribe. But from just movies, Yoda is supposed to be the wisest because he has lived 900 years. So,
and that could be mainly because of Mandalorians and Jedi.
Yeah, you never know, but maybe their mental, it doesn't go to, it goes off like experience or something. I don't know, because
like what I'm seeing from Baby Yoda is that even if he is 50 in real life, like 50, it doesn't seem like he has the mental capacity of 50.
Yeah, he's a baby. He's acting like a kid, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But
so you never know. We might end up with like a Teen Groot thing going on.
Yeah, like where they all of a sudden just grow quick, all of a sudden out of nowhere. And the other part too is they could do whatever the heck they want, because the crazy thing about this Baby Yoda is there is no backstory, there is no lore, thus it's a blank slate. They could do anything they want with it.
They could literally make this a merchandise heaven for them if they played their cards right.
No, it is already. The only thing is they have no freaking merchandise, and the merchandise that they have is cheap and whack. I don't know if you've seen the shirt designs coming out of the Disney store.
I've seen some fan-made disgustingness. That's what I've seen.
Well, let's just say the merch coming out of the Disney store is just a regular shirt with a box with a picture of Baby Yoda on it, and that's it. Like, come on, you're Disney. You can do better than that. Give me a dope shirt, like or.
But their graphic design team isn't better.
That is Disney. True, man. And the other part too is
they probably have people who are like, working on super old, like, they probably have like Playboy illustrators working for them, and they're just making super stupid like silhouettes of things just because they think that that's like edgy for graphic design.
Not even, dude. Like they're not even designing anything. What they're using is they're using the artwork that was used to advertise for the show of the Baby Yoda, or the art that they used to develop the Baby Yoda. They're not even using a picture of Baby Yoda from the show. They're using the development picture of it, and they're just putting it on a shirt with a box around it or a circle behind it. Like, that's it. That's all they're using.
Okay. So before we get more into this, can I bring up a small little topic that's been getting on my nerves for a while?
Go ahead. Is it related?
It's related to illustrations.
Go ahead.
I'm just a little pet peeve because I think that programmers and coders of these millions and millions of apps of like, make this picture feel like it's moving, or turn yourself into a illustration or take a picture of something and then put a filter on it and make it look darker. And I really think that they're pulling the position, what little thereof, of graphic designer and illustrator out of the ground, beating it to a bloody pulp, throwing it back in and pissing on it. But I'm just thinking that they're destroying the market. Coders are destroying the market for people who have dedicated their lives to illustrations, to either push them into becoming full-on artists or to choose something else like animation or, set design.
Wait, I don't. Okay, you're kind of confusing. What are you mad at? Like, what is it that you're mad at?
I'm mad at coders and AI programmers who work on these millions of mindless apps for photo illustration, and like filter changes are destroying the market for jobs for graphic design.
Oh, okay. Let me make it easier for people to understand. He's mad at the app developers for making the filters on apps. You made it sound so difficult.
Not just that, because it's a little harder than that, because it takes a lot of time to actually, code that stuff. But the part where they're then taking something that's so time consuming, like frame by frame, outlining somebody in a neon color for like a video, which is like a day-long process for like not even, maybe like 10 to 20 minutes of video for like music videos. That used to be the bread and butter for somebody who did graphics, who was looking to become famous for, working hard, step by step, spending their entire night, frame by frame, doing all this stuff. Their job is in jeopardy by people who are, just creating app to make like $1.99 a person. And I just think it's kind of like a mockery to the people who have, grown up with this stuff in like the 90s and early 2000s. Lefty, my dad. It was so hard to just frame by frame animate things, draw things, and create designs for t-shirt companies, magazines, TV shows. That now all of those jobs that I see them do are struggling just because they're going to the next best thing, which are people who are using just like cookie cutter molds to make these funny, flashy shirts. And it's just kind of like spitting in the face of the people who have studied it for years.
I don't know if that's the case.
You're a graphic designer. What do you think? You're doing what you're doing. What did you think would have something a little...
These apps aren't taking over the jobs, because the thing is, these apps aren't... They're not creative enough to design a design for a t-shirt or anything like that. Like they're made for having people have fun on their phones and stuff. But
true, but if they're creative enough, you can essentially become an illustrator and designer with.
There's no illustrator using a phone app to create their work.
Hear me out. There are, actually. I have found this out, that there are people who have these like hundreds of different apps for different things. But there are people who have gone onto Fiverr, who have gone on to different job applications, and what they've done is essentially fake it till they make it their way into being a graphic designer without ever having downloaded Photoshop, Illustrator, or even picking up a damn book on this kind of stuff.
Well, then they're just smart, dude. Kudos to them. Like if you could cheat the system, dude, more ups to them, because I feel like schooling is just a way of stealing people's money Because
No, you don't have to have schooling for it. I'm just saying, like, now.
Then what are you going off on here?
Feel,
We're way
yeah,
off. We're
like,
way
I'm
off
trying
topic.
I know. I'm gonna combine it into this one statement. I'm not really mad at the coders. I'm not mad at the. What I'm mad at is just that the advancing of the technology kind of trampled the fact that these people were excited about something that was new to them, just to realize that it was so fast that all of the progress that has been done has kind of been for nothing.
Not really nothing. What are you talking about? Because
Yeah,
here's the thing. If these guys could fake it into a job, kudos to them. But the other part is they're not going to be able to do the stuff that I could do. And the other part too is I've met hundreds of designers. I've even interviewed and worked with a handful of other designers. Some of these designers aren't as good as I am. I've met people that are better than me too. I've met people that are like years ahead of me and doing designs and coming up with things that are just like, wow, I can't believe I can't believe, and I would never been able to think to do this. So it's skill gapped, and
true.
And like,
but I'm not saying like right now. I'm saying maybe in the next 5-10 years. I think that, like, I think the title is going to become history. I'm not saying that now, like, it's being steamrolled. I'm saying, like, in the future, I think the whole study of it is going to kind of be like cookie cutter. Everybody who went through elementary school and has, been dealing with this. I think it's going to become more of like instead of, hey, let's go to computer class, is going to be, okay, now dabble at, editing your photos a little bit, trying to work with the contrast. I just think it's going to become more or less not a job, but more or less something everybody already kind of knows.
I mean,
you know what I'm trying to say?
That's fine, because then the thing is you got to learn how to grow and change with the ways. If you're stuck in one way, that's the downfall of people. And if you wanna get to peeves, one of the things that peeves me is when people get older, they just stop learning. And I've met so many people like that, and it destroys me, because it's like is there a point in life where you in your head just all of a sudden goes boom, I don't want to learn anything anymore. Like, I don't want to, like, have you ever met people who goes like, oh, I'm so bad at electronics, I'm never, I don't want to touch it. Like, computers are beyond me. I don't want to learn it. Or they don't say I don't want to learn it, but it's like, I'm bad at computers. Well, if you're bad at computers, learn it. Learn how to use it. I don't know anything about these phones and these new technologies. Like, learn how to use it. Like, I don't get, like, that's the part that peeves me. And then it goes into that goes back to your thing, is that, I mean, if things change, we have to change with it. Like, so if everyone learns computers and everyone learns technology, and it's something that everyone knows, and everyone knows how to design, well then, we have to learn how to design better, and learn a way to make it work for us.
So, I mean, just getting into it, I'm it's kind of the same thing when it comes to music. When computers, everything's computers. Well, have you tried using a computer to alter the way you play your instrument, and it might come out better? So I understand that, and it's cool. I just find it's going to be funny that within the next few years, that if you go up to somebody and was like, hey, I actually made money from, altering photos, creating illustrations, they're going to have that, like, moment of how did you have a job like that? because it's something with Instagram,
I
with
don't
Twitter.
I don't
and
think
all
so
this.
because there's nothing on these apps that could do the things that I could do. Or
But give it 10 years. Do you think that's still going to be the same issue?
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. Because there's things that I could do that a lot of people can't do yet. So if a lot of people can't do it, then it'll be hard for these app developers to make an app that does it.
So this is what I'm getting at too, though. Like, if it does eventually say, I can do that, you're left with what your raw artistic ability, which you still have, but it's still pushing us into becoming, full physical artists. Like, it's just everything I was thinking of. It's just pushing us into becoming true artists because the monetizing of it is just getting stripped away by everybody kind of nickel and diming ways of, turning their idea into a company.
Is that a bad thing?
It's not, but how long is it going to take before that's not an issue anymore because there's no more, things that can be taken advantage of?
I think this argument is fruitless.
No, I'm curious about it really, because like we're never gonna really know. But I'm thinking, down the line, and what it comes down to when we're talking about this Disney shirt. How do they not have millions of people who are like, I would love to work for Disney and have all these cool ideas, but yet they can't have anything better than the crap that they're selling?
Well,
they have this mountain of like people.
Here's the thing, though. Like, yes, they have crap out now, but I'm pretty sure because the way they do it, they milk it. These companies milk it, and they only have crap out now is because they're making us want it. We see that this is the only thing that they have, and so everyone's like, give us more, and we're just foaming at the mouth for something better, and then all of a sudden they're gonna just start trickling in like better designs, plushies, figures, and then all of a sudden all of a sudden the market is gonna be flooded with all of these Baby Yodas and Mandalorian stuff. Like, there's already good Mandalorian things out there. I've seen good looking Mandalorian t-shirts. I've seen fan art stuff too, which you could get on like a hidden individual site, because if they go big with it, they're gonna get sued by Disney. So I
can't tell you how many like instructions for Mandalorian helmets I've seen pop up on my cosplay forums, just because it's such a massive, everybody wants to be a Mandalorian.
It's a big thing, dude. I mean, come Halloween 2020, it's gonna be the only thing you're gonna see. You're gonna see Baby Yoda costumes on every freaking baby, and you're gonna see Mandalorian costumes grow like the plague, like when everyone was dressed as a stormtrooper. Like, but it's the thing, dude. It's culture, and it's and it's not a bad thing. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing it. So like, it's gonna be cute seeing all these babies dressed like Baby Yoda next year.
Ooh, but I will say one thing that's gonna be exciting for the future of Disney. A lot of older generations hold titles for that company: CEOs, COOs, directors, idealists. Disney Imagineers and stuff like that. They're all older. But like, even like we were saying, the fact that a lot of younger generations know a little bit of everything that they should to be a little more artistically, adept to what they have to deal with. I think the generation that's coming up and that's going to take control of things like Disney, Pepsi, Pixar, everything. It's going to be so... I have an excitement for it, because I think all of them are going to be so flooded with imagination, because we're not being held to that old timey feel. That this next generation of what's going on in 10, 20 years are going to be pretty damn exciting for what's going to come out of these big companies. So you never know, man, because don't knock the new generation that's coming out, because they're probably way smarter than you give them credit for.
Well, here's kind of keeping in that kind of frame of mind. Here's what I'm excited for. Because okay, the kind of like the head runner of Lucasfilms that's with Disney. I think her name's Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think it's Kathleen Kennedy. She's the dumbest person to run this company because she knows nothing about Star Wars lore. She in fact came out with a quote a couple weeks back saying, "Yeah, other movies and other shows are easy to be made because there's source material like comic books and books." And she said that there is no comic books or books for the Star Wars to follow. And when I heard that, I'm just like, yo, you're dumb. Like, you need to get off. And what I'm excited about is that her contract is coming up, so she might be leaving as the whole runner of Lucasfilms and Star Wars together. So if she does, I want them to give and hand it over to Jon Favreau, who's running The Mandalorian, who's been directing a lot of good films out of Marvel, who's done a lot of good things with just Disney itself. Like, that guy is good. He's
just a cool guy in general.
He does good things,
cool.
And he knows that there's source material out there. He knows that there's comic books and stuff for Star Wars, because the stuff that the stories and the things that he's been putting into The Mandalorian is coming straight out of the comic books and the extended universe materials, you know. So he knows all about it, whereas this lady Kathleen Kennedy knows nothing. She's dumb. She needs to get out of there.
It's people like that are holding back the future of, you know, progression with, you know, big companies like that. Thinking about, you know, like this whole Tesla thing, everybody's freaking out about the new look of the car, but
yo, I want that truck, bro. If I made that much money, dude, I'd rock that truck. That truck is awesome.
There are people like freaking out about it, but then again, you know, like maybe you guys who are saying that's bringing back the whole thing about, you know, it's hard to innovate new things because everybody wants the old stuff, but you know, maybe just let it be, and then the next thing that comes out is going to be more to your liking. Have you thought about that?
Well,
just let it be, man.
I think people were hating on the truck. It was because whoever did the show truck messed up and didn't put the bulletproof windows on the truck, because when they showed it off and they threw that rock at the window, it broke way too easily. So if I don't know, man.
The thing is, I think also what ruined it was there was a lot of concept cars that were going around that were just pictures that looked like really nice versions of what people hoped it would look like. When, you know, maybe some of those pictures came out to be a lot better than what reality actually was.
Well, the thing is the truck is called the Cyber Truck. When you see it, it looks like what the name is. It looks like a cyber truck. Like, it looks something straight out of Tron, dude. I'm down with that.
Also, one thing I gotta nitpick. That coming from somebody who has dabbled in, like, you know, just because we both do graphic design, we have to understand graffiti art a little bit, you know. Whoever wrote Cybertruck behind that truck, you made it really, really freaking hard to understand.
They should have just went with a like old school 80s neon text. That would have been cool.
Even if you did like the military stamp Cybertruck, it would have gone with it, or like, you know, neon. But whoever wrote that, it took me about 5 takes to finally put it. Cyber.
Hey, blaming it on Elon, man. Elon's just out there, man. Because I mean, he runs.
What if he wrote that?
He might have had his girlfriend fucking write that, dude. Because his girlfriend's kind of spacey. His girlfriend's kind of spacey, and the thing is, I like his girlfriend's music. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of hers, but she is one of the spaciest human beings out there. So
yeah. So for Tesla and all that stuff, the future has a lot to hold. So expect it to go just like with graphic design. It's expected to go a lot faster. And I think Jon Favreau is perfect because he has that fast pace.
well,
Disney and Star Wars kind of needed that little bit of shocking.
He knows how to. The thing is, he knows how to tell a story. Like from his original stuff to his remakes to his visions of realistic, taking cartoons and making it realistic to just following a script. Like, he knows how to tell a good story. Like, so he's perfect to run Star Wars. If there was to be 3 more trilogies coming out, like, I'd want Favreau to be telling those stories. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of J.J. Abrams, but I've been hearing a lot of bad things coming out of Rise of the Skywalker, which is going to be out in a few weeks, so I don't know if I'm excited or scared now, but I hear a lot of bad things coming from that. So I don't know if the rumors are true, because they are just rumors, but those rumors scare me, dude. Like, I don't know if you've tapped into the whole rumor mill for Star Wars, dude. The Star Wars
Not
movie.
really. I'm letting it, as of right now, I'm letting it ride. And I'm going to dabble back in once everything is laid out and I can take my own 2 cents to it.
That's kind of
like
smart.
I haven't seen the last 2 movies just because I'm letting everything die down, dude. Just like how I'm letting Star Wars Land die down.
You've seen the last 2 movies. You've seen The Force Awakens.
Well, I've seen The Force Awakens, but after that, I kind of was just giving it some breathing room. I haven't seen Solo. I haven't seen.
Oh, I don't consider.
Honestly,
I mean, those are movies, but I don't consider those the main Star Wars movies. Those were just like spin-offs.
Yeah, true. Like I won't watch really the spin-offs right now. I have been watching some of the bigger name ones, but like this new one that came out plus the last main movie I haven't watched, and I'm probably not going to watch the next one. I'm just going to take my time with it because, man, it's just going to be, if you're stepping into that knowing what you're going to, it's just kind of setting yourself up for failure and getting yourself frustrated for no reason because you know it's going to happen.
But this last one is supposed to be the end of the trilogy. How can you not watch it?
So I'm not going to watch it right away. I'm going to take a breather,
But I want to do a review on it.
And we will, but like right before I do watch it, then I'm finally going to go back, take my steps, go through everything, read what people think is going to happen. Because right now, just doing that to myself, I'm just going to be working myself, talking to a bunch of people, going like, what's happening with this? I don't know the answer, but we're still talking about it. So I'm just going to, because me and one of my coworkers at work are huge Star Wars fans. And we're honestly just working ourselves up to
not that huge because you haven't seen the last 2 movies.
on purpose.
Man. Well, I don't know.
On purpose, because honestly, everybody was saying a bunch of stuff like it was bad, it was good, and I'm just gonna give it a little bit, wait for like a moment where I'm really like, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna fully pay attention, I'm gonna take down notes, think about it critically. Because if I watched it right now, I'd probably just be like, that's a good movie. And then I just forget about it.
Well, let me tell you what. The Last Jedi was crap. Rise of the Skywalker.
See? Everybody's saying that.
Rise of the Skywalker is supposed to be like the return, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it the week it comes out. So if Alex is not gonna watch it, then I'll probably do the review by myself. But
probably will.
Yeah, I don't know. The only one that I haven't seen is Solo because I've heard so many bad things that I'm just really afraid to watch it. I will watch it sooner or later. Rogue One was really good. I liked it, even though there's a lot of fandom out there that didn't like it. I loved Rogue One. I'm also a little biased about it because it had one of the best Asian co-stars in there. So
I just like him as a martial artist, so that's just me.
yeah,
I like him.
But it was good to see him on the big screen and had an important role. You know, like you don't get too many Asians out there who has a big and important role. You know, so it was just
this is just me. I would have liked a little action from him, but that's just me. Yeah,
dude,
I still get it to Star Wars.
He had one of the most important scenes in the movie, man.
That's my point. He still got it, but I still would have liked a little more action.
I don't know.
And this is coming from somebody who like wants just like a full-on kung fu movie. So
I thought it was
kind of a joke.
I thought it was
kind of a joke.
I thought it was good enough. I thought it was.
I know.
I
was
thought it was
kind of
perfect.
a joke, saying like I kind of wanted more. In fact,
I am still.
I still would have wanted more.
I'm still looking for a bigger figure of him. I have a small figure of him because it's the only thing that they could find. But I don't know.
Get a life-size cutout.
Nah, there's no room for that. But I would like a better figure of him. I keep my eyes open when I'm ever around a Disney store, but just haven't seen one yet. I might have to just bite the bullet and buy it off of Amazon or eBay. But yeah, amazing. I liked it. Well, we went off on a tangent, and that went pretty long. Let me get into this. One of my last topics that I want to talk about is if anyone out there doesn't know, Sword and Shield came out like last week or 2 weeks ago, I forget. It's been a big craze. It's all over YouTube and Twitch, and everyone's streaming it. Everyone's shiny hunting on it, and I've seen people having a really hard time shiny hunting on it. So let's just say I haven't played it myself, but I've watched a good amount of it. It looks fun, but I'm a little disappointed at their design of the new Pokemons. I think that they could have done better, and not to say that there are some designs on there that are actually pretty awesome and cool. I'll give them that. Like, but mostly a lot of them are kind of lackluster, at least for me. I don't know. Just from what I've seen.
You know what I gotta say? I consider it, thinking back when you play like original yellow, blue, red, where you're starting with the 151. You know, they weren't any special. They were kind of bland. They were kind of blah.
I don't know.
I think about it.
To me, I thought they were cool.
They were, but I think about it this way. I think about Sword and Shield kind of like starting over in just a new place. So I can understand where they're still holding back a little bit on like throwing these brand new ideas out. Because, you know, if you think about it, I get that some of them are a little tacky, like the Ghastly that has just like a top hat on as a chimney and stuff like that. But
it's not a Ghastly.
I can understand.
It's a coughing.
Whoa, coughing. Okay. Doesn't the Ghastly just have like two top hats?
No, Ghastly is still just Ghastly. They didn't make any changes to him.
Oh, but yeah, so like I can understand it. I don't see the hate that a lot of people are saying, but that's just because I consider it.
Well, there's not much hate. It's really just me.
Well, okay, like I've heard a lot of people say that the new starters are kind of boring, like the evolutions of them.
Here's the thing. Yeah, they're a little weird. They're a little doesn't make sense.
Like you wouldn't expect that attribute from that Pokemon.
Oh,
like I never thought that the bunny would be like a runner.
Well, here's the thing. Like all the other starters, they didn't need accessories, right? Like they all had the power within them. But these new starters, like one has a drum, like and the drum comes out of nowhere, or the drum is always with them, like, you know. And then yeah, the bunny has a ball. He's a soccer player. And then the ball comes out of nowhere. The water one, I think the water one's the only one that's kind of normal. Like he doesn't need an accessory. Like like why
No,
did
it
it,
just
why
cries a lot.
like why do they need an accessory? Like it's just kind of weird. It doesn't make any sense in reality. Well, I mean, it is also a fantasy game, so I don't know. Like it's they could do it because it is a video game, but I don't know. It just seemed weird to me.
True. I'm just glad that in Pokemon they're just starting to open up the regions. I get that there are different regions, but show us that it's not just, like every place around the world looks exactly like the same town, just, different name. I'm glad, they're giving us Europe and they're giving us Hawaii or the Pacific Islands.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, things are different. So I can kind of think that that's cool,
Although they have they there's a bit of they do a lot of stereotypes, which is kind of weird, and they get away with it too.
Honestly, if you think about it, Pokemon in general is just a stereotype.
Yeah, it's all stereotype, but I mean, it's just funny how he gets away with it because it's a video game and it's cute.
I mean, didn't you see even the original Pokemon character? Typical Japanese nerd with the bowl cut and glasses and a suit, or the typical schoolgirl, or the old man walking around with his hands behind his back.
True.
I guess they've always just kind of been what's the word? The comedian that just talks about what's happening in the room. God, what's that word?
Seinfeld?
No, in general, they're called a certain type of comedian.
Oh,
observational humor. They're just kind of observational.
Yeah, observational. Yeah, you're right. There you go. But yeah, I don't know.
They've always just been like that.
I don't know, but the main thing about this is
what in general kind of threw you over the edge.
Well, I just feel like they're not getting creative. I don't know, or maybe that's their plan because all the creativity went to the what is it called? It's not the Mega. It has a new word for it now, where they kind of get bigger than their Mega evolution.
Godzilla things, the giant, whatever.
Yeah, they add, I'll give it to them. They added more flavor to it with that, and they kind of made it more not as annoying to play as the regular older versions, where you see the Pokemon, so you don't you're not always just walking. All of a sudden, you get stopped for a battle. You could avoid these things, so which makes it a lot easier. But the game itself looks fun. The mechanics are better. The overworld is better. I just felt like they spent their energy on that, and the design of some of the newer Pokemons are just a little either weird or too bland.
I'll tell you something though. Looking at it now, the Pokemon that have come out, if they came out with these giant Pokemon, maybe they're trying to be new, but also back, issues that, I know I voiced on the channel many times that, there are massive Pokemon. There's giant Dragonites, there's giant Tentacruels, there's all these things that they've never kind of told about, but they see it as a new form of, getting money for the game. And now there's Mega Pokemon and Mega Pokemon, but what I find cool about it is that maybe this is the step that they needed. Maybe this is the step of them not going, okay, we need all these crazy new Pokemon. Maybe we should start back and just, start with a new game, start with, common, everyday Pokemon that you're going to see in a new town, just in a new area. Maybe this is the step that they need to get back onto the track and stop turning sinks into Pokemon and stop turning tissue boxes into Pokemon.
They're still turning sinks into Pokemon. Have you seen a teapot one? It's a teapot, bro.
But has a creature living inside the teapot. The keys are just keys. How the hell did keys become Pokemon? Were there Pokemon that looked like keys before there were keys? Or were there keys and then these Pokemon just were like, I'm going to be keys now? Like, at least the teapot, there's like a thing inside the teapot that's just like, I wanted to be a teapot. Kind of like the Mimikyu. It's a creature, but it wanted to be a Pikachu. The ice cream was just an ice cream. The trash bag was just... The schnozberries just tasted like schnozberries. Why did they become what they were? There's no backstory behind these. There's no reason for them to look like what they do.
What?
That was dumb.
Isn't there a backstory though? Because every Pokemon has a backstory.
Yeah, after they make it, so then they have to cover their tracks.
I bet you it has a backstory, but who knows? But yeah.
Okay, why does the chandelier? Well, okay, no, I know that one because the flame is actually a Pokemon that follows those who are about to die soon.
Yeah.
But like the keys start out as keys.
Well, look it up. There might be a backstory to it. You never know. But yeah, we've been going pretty long though. Was there anything you wanted to go off on before we end this?
Hate those key Pokemon.
I know you wanted to give us an update on what you've been doing.
Oh, dude, I've just been moving into a new place. I've been so busy.
As you guys could see in his background.
This is my kitchen. This is right now the area that's the most clean. We brought everything by, so now I have my instruments back. I have my games, I have my consoles, I have my gamepad, I have my, cosplay, I have my dance clothes, I have my records, I have my collections all out. So now I can focus on doing the things that I need to do, which just like I was dealing with the VR, now I can stream VR, which I couldn't do when it was two people with all this crap in one room in a home. So now that we have the room, once we have everything packed away, I've literally been doing this for like the past 4 days. So we moved in and have just been going to work, picking up our stuff, coming back home, eating for like an hour and unpacking. So we got most of it done this weekend because it was the holiday weekend. But like I was saying, expect a change in scenery. Probably going to get a desk or my battle station going into the room.
And your mic set up?
I have it ready. I just don't have it plugged in. But I will have space for it now. Considering, if you've noticed, now I'm fine recording at any time because anybody else's time frame. It's just kind of what's happening. So that's cool. There's going to be more videos coming out, more things. I'm working with a couple people for that, the Shuffle fans thing, which I still need to talk to you about the glove things, which you'll hear about later, guys. But, there's a lot of things going on, so I expect different things, new areas mean new ideas mean more videos. And now that I don't have to worry about waking people up, it's pretty much a green light from here on.
There we go. So expect more.
And yes, today I will be figuring things out. So I will be streaming VR probably a little. Figure things out. So if you guys want to check it out, or I probably might play a little Call of Duty with the guys, but I don't have so it might just be me sucking at a controller. So if you guys see them online, know that I actually am going to be back on games since everything's not in a box. So yeah, just there
you go.
Honestly, I say check out some of the VR streaming. I am in love with Beat Saber, and it kind of gives you that nostalgic Guitar Hero feel. So if you guys want to check it out, request some music, see what's going on, there's a custom music button. So I'm going to be putting in some of my own music too. So there you
go. As for me, because my modem is tripping out once in a while, I actually want to start a new series. I'm going to be trying to do my road to Damascus, even though I know that the Damascus camo is glitched out. But coming with this update, hopefully the next new update, hopefully they'll have that fixed. Because I mean, it's gonna take me a while to even get to Damascus. But I've been having a lot of fun unlocking these camos for all these guns. I've gotten 2 of my sniper rifles now gold. Working on my 3rd one, and as well as working on. Working slowly on my ARs and SMG, but I feel like I could make videos from that because I've been enjoying watching other people do it. So I might start it myself, and by doing that, I wouldn't need my modem to, like, the modem could do whatever the heck it wants because all that I'm doing is recording, and then editing and uploading it. So look forward to that. That's my plan. And with that, I think we've reached the end of our episode because we've been going freaking long. Because Alex likes to go on. Up for 2 days. Alex likes to go on tangents.
Hey, this is my place to speak my opinions, and I had some thoughts.
So
honestly, but that's the thing though, because I mean, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, put it down in the comments and we can talk about it later. It's not like, but that's just because we need things to talk about. But if we talk about things that you guys want to talk about, these things usually go a little smoother because we just kind of like to talk in general. But yeah, also just wanted to say for videos too, if you guys want us to just do something that you like watching, just give us the idea and maybe we'll give it a shot. Who knows? It might just become a new series.
Yes.
So if you see somebody else doing something like a taste test video or $3 chicken compared to, like, you know, going to a restaurant getting $20 chicken or, you know, whatever, just tell us what's up and we'll give it a shot.
Yep. And with that said, we are still sitting at 53 subscribers strong. Let your friends know, subscribe. We will come out with more videos soon so that we could help grow. And yeah, with all that said, we thank you, we love you, and we will see you all on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.